Hello everyone, welcome to today's our online class. Last class we started the story The Fight. So we know Renji went to a pool and he used to swim in that pool, and another boy came. He said that it was his pool, and they both fight there for the ownership of the pool. And finally they tied and no one won the fight, and they decided to continue their fight the next day. So what happens in next day, that we are going to check in the part 2 of the story. So let's check what is there. When Renji got home, he found it difficult to explain the cuts and bruises that showed on his face, leg and arms. So he had some bruises on the body because they were fighting, the cuts and the wound marks. It was difficult to conceal the fact that he had been in an unusually violent fight, and his mother insisted on his staying at home for the rest of the day. So he cannot conceal, to hide. He cannot hide that there was a fight, unusually violent fight between those two boys. So his mother ordered him to stay in the house rest of the day. That evening, though, he slipped out of the house and went to the bazaar, where he found comfort and solace in a bottle of vividly colored lemonade and a banana leaf full of hot sweet jalebis. So even though that evening he went outside and he was enjoying the lemonade and a banana leaf full of hot sweet jalebis, he was having it. He had just finished the lemonade when he saw his adversary. Adversary here means the opponent coming down the road. So when he finished drinking the lemon juice, he saw his opponent is coming down through the road. His first impulse means wish. His first wish was to turn away and look elsewhere. First he thought to look elsewhere, look here and there. His second, to throw the lemonade bottle at his enemy. Second, he thought to throw the lemonade bottle at his enemy. But he did neither of these things. He didn't do any of that. Instead, he stood his ground and scowled at his passing adversary. Scold means looked angrily. Looked angrily. So he sat there where he was sitting and he looked at his enemy angrily. At the warrior. You remember, he was saying that he was a warrior. And warrior said nothing either but scolded back with equal ferocity. Ferocity means fierceness. That is suggesting that anger, cruelty. So his opponent also didn't say anything. He also looked the same way how Renji was looking at him. The next day was as hot as the previous one. Renji felt weak and lazy and not at all eager for a fight. So next day he didn't like to, was feeling weak, so he doesn't like to have a fight on that day. His body was stiff. Stiff here means hard, stiff and sore, hard and pain, some pain after the previous day's encounter, previous day's fight. Because of previous day's fight, he was feeling some pain on his body. But he could not refuse the challenge. Not to turn up at the pool would be an acknowledgement of defeat. So if he didn't go to the pool, then that will be admitting his defeat. From the way he felt just then, he knew he would be beaten in another fight. He knew that one. Any fight comes there, he will be beaten again. But he could not acquiesce in his own defeat. Acquiesce means accept quietly. So if he didn't go there, the other boy will think he accepted the fail. But if he go also, there is no strength for Renji to fight with him. If any fight happens there, definitely Renji will fail. He don't want to defeat quickly, accept the defeat. So what he did there? He must defy his enemy to the last or outwit him, for only then could he gain his respect. He thought, and to go there and give the strong fight, then only he will get the respect. If he quickly defeat, then he will not get the respect. If he surrendered now, what happens there? If he surrendered now, he would be beaten for all time. So now if he accept the defeat, definitely he will be defeated for all time. But to fight and be beaten today left him free to fight and be beaten again. So today if he go there and fight with the boy, and even though he defeated there, he failed there, then also there will not be any other fight. As long as he fought, he had a right to the pool in the forest. As much as he can fight, then there is a right for him to use that pool. He was half hoping that the warrior would have forgotten the challenge, but these hopes were dashed when he saw his opponent sitting stripped to the waist on a rock on the other side of the pool. So on the way he thought his opponent opponent is warrior. So he gave that name as warrior. That's it. So he thought he might have forgot the challenge. But what happened there? When he reached there, he was there, removed his clothes, he's having that shorts, wearing the shorts, and he was waiting for him on the rock near the pool. The warrior was rubbing oil on his body. He saw Renji beneath the salt trees, under the salt trees, and called a challenge across the water of the pool. So opposite sides only there. Come over on this side and fight, he shouted. The boy shouted to Renji, okay, you come over here and fight. But Renji was not going to submit to any condition laid by his opponent. So he was not ready to submit any conditions given by the opponent. Come this side and fight, he shouted back with equal vigor. Vigor means strength. With his own strength, he said, you come here and fight with me. Swim across and fight me here, called the other, or perhaps you cannot swim the length of this pool. Then the boy again given another challenge. You come here, swim across the pool and come here and fight with me. Then he said, oh, maybe you don't know how to, you can't swim across this pool. But Renji could have swum the length of the pool a dozen times without tiring. And here he would show the warrior his superiority. So he thought, Renji, many times he swim across that pool, almost a dozen times. So he will not tire. So he thought he wanted to show his superiority here. He can swim across it. He wanted to show it to the opponent. So what he did there? So slipping out of his vest, he dived straight into the water, cutting through it like a knife, and surfaced with hardly splash. The warrior's mouth hung open in amazement. So Renji dived into the water. So the warrior, the opponent, was amazed to see that one. You can dive, he exclaimed. It is easy, said Renji, treading water, waiting for a further challenge. Can you dive? Treading water means keeping oneself upright in the deep water by moving the feet. That means he's swimming there. He waiting for the next challenge. Can't you dive? He asked, can't you dive? No, said the other. I jump straight in. But if you will tell me how, I will make a dive. Then the opponent said, I don't know how to dive. If you tell me how to dive, I will try it. It is easy, said Renji. Stand on the rock, stretch your arms out and allow your heads to displace your feet. He taught him how to dive. The warrior stood up stiff and straight, stretched out his arms and threw himself into the water. He landed flat on his belly with a crash that sent the birds screaming out of the trees. So the other boy tried to dive into the water, but what happened there? That was he doesn't know how to dive. So if you don't know how to dive properly, then what happens? You will fall on the water by hitting your belly. Belly means the stomach, lower part of the stomach. It will hit on the water. There will be much pain on your body. So the boy did the same. He doesn't know how to dive. So when he tried to dive, that was a mistaken dive. Renji dissolved into laughter. So Renji was started laughing. Are you trying to empty the pool? He asked as the warrior came to the surface, spouting water like a small whale. Then he asked, are you trying to empty the pool? When you jump like that, the water is going out of the pool. Wasn't it good? Asked the boy, evidently proud of his feat. His feat means a clever act. That is special skill. He asked him, wasn't that good? Not very good, said Renji. You should have more practice. See, I will do it again. He said, no, it is not good. So I will show you how to do it. And pulling himself on a rock, he executed another perfect dive. The other boy waited for him to come up, but swimming underwater, Renji circled him and came up upon him from behind. So what happened there? He did another perfect dive, and another boy was waiting for Renji to come out of the water. Then what happens there? He swim under the water. He circled him under the water. He circled the other boy, and he came from backside of the boy. Came up back from back. How did you do that? Asked the astonished youth, astonished, amazed. He said, how did you do that one? Can't you swim underwater? Asked Renji. Renji asked, can't you swim underwater? No, but I will try it. The other boy said, no, I don't know how to swim in the underwater. Okay. The warrior made a tremendous effort, a great effort to plunge. Plunge means jump. To plunge into the bottom of the pool, and indeed he thought he had gone right down, though his bottom, like a duck's, remained above surface. So he tried to swim underwater, but what happened there? He thought went into the water, but suddenly it is looking like a duck. It was some part of his body was up of the water. Then what happened there? Renji, however, did not discourage him. So Renji didn't discourage him by saying that mistake. It was not bad, he said, but you need a lot of practice. And he said that was not a bad thing, but you have to practice more. Will you teach me? Asked his enemy. If you like, I will teach you. So that boy, upon an enemy asked, will you teach me? Then Renji said, okay, if you like, I will teach you. You must teach me. If you do not teach me, I will beat you. Will you come here every day and teach me? Then the boy said, you should teach me. If you didn't teach me, I will beat you. Will you come here every day and teach me? If you like, said Renji. They had pulled themselves out of the water and were sitting side by side on a smooth grey rock. So there was no fight there. So he said, you should come and teach me. My name is Suraj, said the warrior. What is yours? It is Renji. The other boy said his name is Suraj, and this is Renji. I am strong. I am not. Am I not? I am strong. Am I not? So he's saying, I am strong. Am I not? Asked Suraj, bending his arm so that a ball of muscle stood up, stretching the white of his flesh. So he showed that muscle. You are strong, said Renji. You are a real Filewan. Filewan means here, that person who is fighting, a wrestler. One day, I will be the world's champion wrestler, said Suraj, slapping his thighs, which shook with the impact of his hand. He looked critically at Renji's hard, thin body. You are quite strong yourself, he considered, but you are too bony, thin. I know you people do not eat enough. You must come and have your food with me. I drink 1 seer of milk every day. We have got our own cow. Here, seer means same as sir. It's a unit of weight. In olden time in India, it's a unit of time. It's just less than a liter. So he said, we have a cow. We have got our own cow. Be my friend, and I will make you a Falwan like me. I know. If you teach me to dive and swim underwater, I will make you a Falwan. That is fair, isn't it? Then the boy said, okay, you come with me. We have our own cow. So you can, if you teach me how to dive and swim underwater, I will make you a Falwan. So they are having an agreement. That is fair, said Renji, though he doubted if he was getting the better of the exchange. So he thought. Suraj put his arm around the younger boy and said, we are friends now, yes? So we are friends now. They both become friends. They looked at each other with honest, unflinching eyes. Unflinching means without blinking, looking straight at each other. And in that moment, love and understanding were born. So they became close friends now. We are friends, said Renji. The birds had settled in their branches and the pool was quiet and limpid. Limpid means clear. Limpid in the shade of the salt trees. It is our pool, said Suraj. Nobody else can come here without our permission. Who would dare? who have the dare to come here. Who dare, said Renji, smiling with the knowledge that he had won the day. So they both admitted. So that is now their own pool. So look there how these kids are changing their minds. There are sometimes the fight is there, but even though when they are understanding, they both have different things to share, then they'll become good friends. So the fight between the children is not a long lasting thing. It's a very simple thing. Anytime it may stop. So it was written by Ruskin Bond. It's a very wonderful story. I hope you all liked the story. If you have any doubt about the story, you can ask it in the comment box. And today we are finishing winding up today's our class. Thank you for attending. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye. See you later.